No more racism. We have to go back to basics. The basics are people of color are always at the front lines, and it's time for people of color to be in the leadership, and the reparations should also be taken into account.
Any reason why you're following me around?
Just making sure everyone's safe.
Well, I'm not dangerous, I promise. So you're the organizer?
One of many organizers.
So can you tell me what your group's about?
Not gonna. I just don't want to detract from speaker.
Well, if you, I'm just trying to understand your group. That's all. I'm not trying to cause trouble or anything of the sort. So I figured, if we get a chance to talk our positions, we might understand each other. But I understand if you're not willing, because you might think I'm as a threat, because you kind of made that notion already. But I assure you, I'm here with an open heart, open mind. So I did notice you here, one of the first ones here, and that's why I asked you if you wanted to explain to me your organization. That's all.
Speakers will do a great job.
With and organizing with, and they are an amazing resource. So yeah, let me get them on the phone really quick.
And just to give a little bit more context for Otras Dreams in Acción, so this is a group that we've actually worked with. People from the Tacoma Detention Center have been deported and then have become part of their group and continue to fight deportations from the other side of the US-Mexico border. So I'm going to introduce Maggie, who is one of their co-founders, and they have some messages about the detention center and about our campaign.
Hey everybody. Well, my name's Maggie, and we're here in Mexico City. We are in Pocha House, which is our safe space where the returned and deported community, we get together in Mexico City, and this is a space where we accompany each other, we mutually support each other, and we advocate on the Mexican side, but also on the US side, and we're always fighting to go back to our homes, to have mobility, to be with our families, and what we had, we were able to connect with Resistencia this year, particularly around some cases that the Resistencia have been accompanying from the Northwest Detention Center, and for some reason they ended up in Mexico City and they ended up in Pocha House, and we continue to accompany people, and we have been able to work together in better supporting those people. And ever since then, well, the recent death of one of the people from our community, someone from
So I'm member 3. And I just want to say that 350 is always, not separated, the social, justice issues from environmental issues, because, so many of the people that are suffering now and dying now, even in this country, are people of color, people that, do not have the resources so that they can flee some of that. And so it's a basic issue. So I wanted to say that, and I also wanted to, what weighs on my mind heavily here and why I will do everything I can do to shut this place down. Please write your city council, copy the city manager, as she has a lot of power here, and your state representative, and tell them to shut it down. And please organize that. Get on your phone and write a personal note, ask your friends to do that. Make a phone tree. We used to call it a phone tree when I was young. I'm just totally conscious. In fact, I was one of the ones arrested here last summer as I was live streaming. A totally lawful protest that was shut down by TPD. Totally about intimidation, but I'm so proud of all of you for coming here and not being intimidated. Because that would be letting the bastards win. Let's not let the bastards win, right? So thank you for having the courage to come here. And the other thing is that I'm constantly, as a survivor of child sexual abuse, aware that many of the people in here have had their children stolen by our government. They've had their children stolen by people who very often turn out to be child rapers, as far as I can tell. So that, I'll put my body down here. I will. We're not going to stand for this shit. We're not going to stand for it anymore.
Thank you. So our campaign was launched on Tuesday. Some of you were there with us at the Tacoma City Council. Raise your hand if you happen to be there. Yay, I see some familiar faces. Thank you for taking the time and being there with us. We presented to City Council 2 documents. We showed to them that at least one pod here in the detention center had to write down their names as witnesses of maggots in the food. They constantly have maggots in the food. That's what they find. And this is not new. This has been forever, right? Since we began our work here directly to shut down the deportations back in February 2014 and hunger strikes began, that was one of the first things that people have mentioned during hunger strikes. Food is horrible. It shouldn't be considered food. It's trash. But this year, since March, we have daily occurrences of maggots in food. And so now people are discouraged or not allowed to file grievances in regards to finding maggots in food or other foreign items that they shouldn't find. So this specific group of people decided to write down what they found. They wrote their names and they made that guard sign the paper. And they send it to us and say, make it public. We have another second document that we'll make public from a different pod. And we have a video that we just got today from a third pod, same thing, saying, please make it public. We continue getting maggots in our food. And so what we see is just at least one example of why this place needs to be shut down. A lot of people say this is a nice, shiny detention center. There's nothing nice about being in a cage. There's nothing humane about having human beings in cages, right? And remember last month, ICE did a PR campaign because they know they're losing. ICE know they are not welcome in our towns anymore. Yes. People are doing more.
Hello everyone out there. Welcome. Thank you so very much for stopping to help us with your spirit and your strength. You are the future. Remember, you are the future. You come to help. You are the future, the kind of future that is what we need. You are. They are the hate. They are the past. They're the monsters. You are the future, and I welcome you with open arms. I'm with you, and I love you all. Thank you.
We love you, Miguel.
Thank you, thank you. And may God bless you. Shalom, Elohim. Yahweh, Hashem. Bendito Dios y todopoderoso. Gracias por venir. Gracias por venir. Ustedes son el futuro. El futuro de esta nación. Nosotros somos el futuro de esta nación. Ellos son la muerte de la nación, el pábulo, el odio. Y eso no sirve. Gracias, muchas gracias. Me he cansado mucho. Estoy muy enfermo, dispense. Pero gracias por venir. Porque gane América era.
No están solos, 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 no están solos.
Wish we could debate our points.
Okay, what's your debate?
So, does that incorporate every prison?
Probably, there's 2 million people in prison for immigration. Maybe 100,000 people should in prison, but most people, basically end up being poor, rebellious, I think. So I think some people should be, but not a whole lot.
For committing victimless crimes, right?
So what do you think?
So where do you draw the line on victimless crimes to breaking the law to egregious murder and other crimes?
Well, I think people do murder, who do rape.
So if we're
but a lot, if we had a different system, we wouldn't have those people in prison.
Well, we would still have prisons at the same time, though.
But a lot less.
So you just want to downsize
a lot by 90%.
And if these members get returned into a community, and if they're not productive members of society, what are we supposed to do with them?
What's not productive? People like Jeff Bezos. What do you mean by productive?
Well, just help your neighbor, community, that type of deal. Instead of going to your neighbor's house and stealing stuff and vandalizing, those type of.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people not in prison do that too, and that's I agree. But people who charge a lot of money for rent to landlords, that's stealing also. It's just not common stealing.
Rent.
If you charge $2,000 for an apartment that costs you very little, that's to me another form of stealing also. But that's not because it's legal. To me, it's a question of what's right. Like I said, what helps the community, and not what's legal or illegal. Because I think a lot of laws, basically discriminate against poor people.
The legal process. Do you think it's kind of convenient for poor people to be used to commit illegal acts in order to pay for their debt via crossing the border illegally, potentially trafficking kids or drugs or whatever to pay for that debt that they got to be brought to the border?
Okay, but would you cross the border if your family was in danger?
I would do it legally, which my family did.
And if they couldn't do it legally, you wouldn't do it? You'd let people
I would want, as a family, as a father, a head hold of the house, so I would want to do it right, where I wouldn't jeopidize.
Everybody wants to do it right, but you don't always have.
And if you didn't have the money to do it legally, it costs about $1,000. Have to pass citizenship test.
More you make money if you want. If you're motivated, you find a way to get paid for your labor. Your labor. Well, then there's other nonprofits that can donate to your.
The gangs, whatever.
Yeah, and that president, you probably don't hate him. Trump, he's making it almost impossible to get asylum here too. And the things you were saying about crime, if you look at any statistics on it, immigrants here commit less crimes than, Americans with a red, white, blue flag. I mean, I think the idea that immigrants commit crimes, obviously commit some, but probably less than most people in the U.S.
What about the rape levels have gone up? And then since Trump has been in office, they've been taking record of crimes committed by illegal immigrants. And so they've equated that there is a high rape count from illegals to American citizens.
I've looked at some, it's not higher from anything I've seen than the population as a whole. Yeah, rape's a horrible thing, but it's not higher. And I think your focus on immigrants is like part because of the stereotypes you have about them.
They've always been counting the crimes committed by everyone. It's nothing new going on there.
Well, we all need to have some type of data to
Sure, but
form
they're
an
both
argument.
reflecting crime.
You take the data saying there's too many people in jail. I mean, it's all data that we're all using for our own
Look at the
agenda.
Department of Justice. You know, I'm using not that I trust the Department of Justice so much, but I look at their data and stuff.
What?
All right. So when did your family migrate?
When did they migrate? My father is from Nicaragua, and he was able to get a temporary residence and join the military, and he actually got his citizenship as he served.
So you've been to Nicaragua?
My father, that's my blood.
Where was he from? I've been to Nicaragua a lot.
What's anything there? You shouldn't legitimize these people.
Were you on the was he with the Contras or not?
Well, I was in Ortega, so that will.
You're in Ortega?
So that will give you an idea where my family was.
Okay,
so I actually have a firsthand experience on the corrupt government and the overwhelming, the bad choices that they can make and that they can put on people.
I agree, it's a pretty corrupt government these days. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But they also did some good things in the 80s, not now. The United States committed this horrible kind of genocide war in Nicaragua too, which is part of the problems now. But yeah, it's an interesting family, I'll tell you family.
Yeah.
Anyway, good talk.
Nice talking with you. Do the best I can.
Yeah. Until they get pulled away from other people who don't want to listen to them.
No, I know. Yeah.
That's sad.
It is sad that you've got good dialect going on, and their friends are like, "Hey, don't even talk to him. You're not going to be able to change his mind."
Exactly.
It's who cares if you can't change each other's mind? Fine, that's fucking is what it is. But to be able to sit and have dialogue and talk with each other peacefully without it turning, violent or fucking into a screaming match is valuable, man. That's it's invaluable, really, and then they're like, no, shoving their friends away. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. That's pathetic, man. Especially,
I can disagree with you even if I understand you.
Yeah.
But that's important. You got to understand where each other's at.
Yeah. Don't have to agree with each other. You ain't got to even be able to change each other's minds. But I think being able to sit down and talk and exchange ideas and shit's important. That's.
Well, it just gives them the chance to say, "Oh, they're not that bad."
Yeah, exactly.
I don't agree with them, but they're not that bad.
Yeah.
Gave him some things to think about, though, too. Maybe he'll start researching a little bit about the rape issues or other stuff. Because he's like, oh, it's not.
A lot of people just see what they want to see, though.
I was right there. I'm walking this way, and he like looks at me, and I look at him. So we lock eyes, and then he goes like this, and I go, yeah, people shouldn't be in cages, but what happens when they commit crimes? And then he stopped them. I'm like, darn it, I wanted to talk to that guy, but he got it first, so that's okay. That's all good. So what do you film for? Just everybody? Just a bunch of different things that go on and stuff?
It's something I've gradually gotten into. The events I go to, I document. I started going into the other side to get more interesting footage, and I've gotten used to that, just being surrounded by morons. So I do that for a little bit for footage.
Yeah.
And then you try to get them to talk about their perspectives and point of views. I mean, just the kind of there's a gap, and I already know I can contribute to the gap, or I can try to fill it in a little bit.
Right.
So I do try to be civil with them and talk, and whatever footage I compile and I put on my YouTube channel. So it's kind of up into my second channel. My first one got taken down. I've been taken to court because of it. I mean, it's chaotic. So
that's weird.
Yeah, it's shining light in the dark, and they hate it. They hate it with a passion.